Hey everybody, welcome back. So in this review I am going to be unboxing, assembling, and testing the AlgoLaser DIY Mark II laser engraver. AlgoLaser sent me this for the purpose of this review, and I'm pretty excited about it. I've never used a laser engraver before. So it looks like AlgoLaser sent me 3 items. They sent me the laser kit, the DIY kit itself. They sent me a Honeycomb bed, and they sent me an air assist pump. So everything is out of the packaging now, and I think it's worthy to note that it comes in this really nice cutout foam piece, and if you're doing this yourself, you might want to leave things in there just to keep them, if you're like me, to keep yourself from losing them until you're ready for that actual assembly step. I got everything out just because I wanted to show it all to you. This is the Honeycomb bed, and that was pretty much all that was in the box. This is the air pump. It came with a couple of hoses. We have a USB cable, we have a power cord, we have some eye protection, we have a power supply, we have a bunch of odds and ends of little parts. We have some larger end plates. We have the control panel with the LCD, nice big LCD on it. And then we have 3 rails marked A, B, C, and D. We have no less than 2 quick start guides. We have the trolley that the laser rides back and forth on, and we have the laser itself. So I got the manual out. This looks really nice. There's all the parts list, everything it comes with. Then machine assembly, shows all the different pieces, nice color pictures. This is supposed to not require any computer software at all. There is a phone app, but everything is supposed to be able to be done from the front panel. Oh, this is all English too. Step 1 is to put 2 feet on parts number C and D and B, and I have done that here. And I like to leave things a little bit loose until I am done, and then when I'm done I'll square it up and tighten it. Next step is to put the X-axis component on it. So we're going to put this trolley unit with the X-axis, we're going to put that on. Make Y-axis pass through the middle of X-axis gear. Alright, I don't know how you could put that on wrong, but if there's a way to do it, I'm sure I would have found it. Next step is put A-frame on the back with its feet, so I'm going to do that now. Alright, the frame is all assembled. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check it for square. They don't say to do it, and I have a feeling with these angles on here, when you tighten it, it's going to pull it into square, but I just want to make sure because I'd rather do it now than come back later. So I have 32 1/4 and I'm working in inches. Sorry for all you metric guys. I don't have a metric measuring tape, believe it or not. And 32 1/4, it's dead on. I'll be dipped. Alright, let's tighten it up and see if it stays. Okay, everything is tight, everything is square. Next step is thread the belt through the hole in the direction of the arrow. Ensure the belt is placed in the correct orientation with the 2 sides facing down. There is a slot for the belt here, under the roller, up over top of the gear, and out the other side. And out the other end, which would be right here. And again on the other side. Alright, the belt is all threaded through. I have about 1.5 inches sticking out of the belt, sticking out on either end. Now what they want me to do is pin the belt down using 4 screws and washers. And you're going to have to set the belt tension at this time as well. Oh, I left this last one here to show you how I'm going to do it. And they say I'm a noob at laser engravers, but I have set up a bunch of 3D printers, and they use the same type of toothed belt. I always used to call them Gilmer belts, but so get your screws started, pull that snug, and tighten that down, and I'm calling that good for now. If we look at the carriage here now, you can feel the carriage should move freely, but it should not move at all without the gear turning. If you were to hold this shaft and wiggle it, you can't wiggle it back and forth at all without this shaft trying to turn. If you've done that, it should be good. Alright, next step is to put a limit switch on it. Notice they've already put one limit switch on it for us here, but we have to put another one here, and you'll know where it goes because it's the only spot where there seems to be holes. How is that gonna go? That looks the opposite of the way Let me turn it so that it matches their orientation, because I'm confused. All right, it's gonna go, there we go, it's gonna go like that. Huh, uh-oh, did I put that on backwards? I thought I put that on the way they said to put it on. Nope, I didn't. I put this on backwards. So this has to come back out and be rotated 180 degrees. All right, that only took about 10 minutes to swap that and put the limit switch on in its correct location. Didn't I tell you if there was a way to put this thing together wrong, I'd find it? Well, I did. Limit switch is in place. This one they put in for you. Note that when you move this, the front edge of this red mounting plate contacts the button on the limit switch. And the same here. And that's how they are correct. Next step is assemble the laser module. Then there's air pump connection. The laser module just is a dovetail. You slide it on the dovetail. You use 2 thumb screws that they provide to snug it into position. Looks like it's got a lot of height adjustment from there. Then they tell you to push the air hose in, and it's just a Bowden tube push lock type fitting, you know, with the ring. If you've 3D printed, you know what they are. And then the next thing they say to do is get the control box connected up. Off camera, I went ahead and installed the front panel. Just 2 screws hold it on. I routed the wiring and the hoses for the air pump. You want to use wire ties to take the stress off of the end of the connectors, and you want to make sure that you've routed it in such a way that it can move its whole mount without trapping the wires in anywhere they shouldn't be trapped. So just make sure that everything moves and that nothing gets caught where it shouldn't get caught at. And I'm pretty happy with that. All right, first power on. See what happens. Not happy about something, is it? There we go, it just wanted the emergency stop off. English is good for me. Connect via Wi-Fi, it's searching for my Wi-Fi. There is my Wi-Fi. That connected quickly without a problem. Everything is ready. I could scan the QR code to see the official website. I've already seen it. I'm going to say finish. All right, what I would like to do is the update. Can I do the update from here? Firmware, how about that? Checking for updates, yay. Discovering new versions, click to update. And here we go. Okay, the update is done and we are back at the home screen. It's giving me an IP address. Tells me I have 4 notifications. Let's look at what my notifications are. Alarm code 11, nothing required. Execute homing command to continue. All right. Power supplied. Warning, homing cycle required. Serial stream connected. Okay, so it wants me to home it. Let's clear all those messages. Let's go back home. Let's see if I can find home. Motion, let's move it. Let's move it 50 millimeters at a time. And let's go this way. Let's go that way. Now let's press home and make sure it homes. Okay, it has homed itself properly. And I don't have the Honeycomb bed on it or using it yet. Okay, I put the app on my phone. It is just called AlgoLaser. I got it from the Google Play Store. Device not connected. Click enter. Click to enter the connection interface. Sure, while using the app it can... Is the device connected to the network? It is networked. Click to connect device. Confirm the machine's parameters. 400 by 400. Laser module. I have the 10 watt. Oh, there could be multiple 10 watt models. It is the 10BD model right there. I'm going to go ahead and confirm. Carving. Control. History. No history. Carving. It's in the library. Lots of things are in the library. Okay, I got their instructions out and it has what I should do. They want me to pick the bear, size it. So I have done that. I don't know how well you can see it on the phone. I have put their little piece of wood they provided below there. I'm going to size it down pretty small because I have no idea what this is going to do. The front screen says mobile connection control in progress. If you can't see it, you can size it up and down like this. Dot matrix, scan, vector, I don't know what those do. Quality, I'm going to leave it set to highest because I want to know what it's going to look like. Laser power is 100%. I wonder, I'm going to turn that down because I don't want it cutting through that and going into my table. So for now, let's turn it down to 30%. Estimated time, it says, is 15 minutes. So, all right, I stopped that because nothing was happening. I mean, nothing bad was happening, but nothing good was happening either. And I finally decided I should read the manual because that's when I read manuals when things don't work. And I ran into the focusing the laser page and I finally figured out what this little thing was for. This is the focusing assist. How to find focus is the second page and I didn't see it. We're going to pick the bear again. Laser power is still set at 30%. I'm going to move that up to 50. If I cut through all the way to my table, that's on me. And run. Something else I think worthy of note is this table is just a folding table. It is, I mean, it's sturdy to an extent, but it will wobble back and forth pretty easy. And this machine does not move it at all. All right, well, obviously that wasn't enough laser power or I'd need to go over it multiple times. That is a successful run as far as using the machine is concerned. Let's go to projects, example, and let's get down to where I saw that gun. Right there. All right, let's see what happens. What do we got to lose? One $50 folding table. Start. Laser power is high. 3mm plywood. Scan and one pass, I'm guessing. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, it's trying to cut it out. Oh, this was supposed to be a cutout. I don't want it cutting all the way through to my table. It's not. See what it looks like? It's actually supposed to cut the pieces out, I think. It's absolutely not cutting completely through the wood. Oh, wait a minute. You can't even see it, can you? Let me get this where you can see it. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be cutting completely through, and it's going to go up. It's going to go off onto my table, and I don't want it to do that. All right, so I stopped that because I don't want to burn my table, and I do. Look what it did. Holy cow, it was burning through. Look at that, it cut. All right, it cut right through that. All right, I wasn't expecting that, but it absolutely did. And burned my table. I didn't realize that was what that object was going to do. So hey, you know, that's what you get when you don't read the instructions. No harm to the table. It just melted it slightly. Okay, let's let's pick something less destructive this time. So after that admittedly enjoyable little mistake, I got a picture of my front of my Jeep here. I brought it in through the option called albums. It let me crop it. I'm going to size it to, what am I, 200 by 168? I think I'm going to go even smaller than that. We're going to go to highest quality. Laser power, I'm going to crank it up to 80. I still don't want to cut through it. I think cutting through probably has as much to do with speed as it does laser power. So I'm going to leave the speed where it was before. Let's set it to 100, and if it burns through, well, I've already melted the table, so I'm not that concerned about it. Since I'm running the laser at full power, I turned the pump all the way up. All right, we are right at the 50% mark. Okay, it is all done, 33 minutes and some amount of seconds. What's in it now is a piece of about 1/16 inch thick aluminum. I'm going to try doing that. I think I have it sized right. I think I have it set in the right place. I wasn't having any luck on the bare aluminum at all, even at very slow speeds. At 100% laser power, I was not getting a mark in the aluminum, and I'm guessing it's got something to do with the reflectivity of the aluminum. So I thought, well, since it never touches the surface, I'm going to put a matte black paint job on it and try again. And now we're back to full speed, 100% laser power, and I think this might have a pretty cool effect. Let's take a quick look at the front panel. We have a power button, we have the child lock, and it came with keys, and we have the emergency stop button. Then we have the little icon showing it's connected to Wi-Fi. We have the little icon that looks like if you had plugged in a USB stick, and then it has a little bell saying there's some notifications. We can go to projects, and this shows are examples of which many of which are missing from mine, and I'm still not 100% sure why. Something I probably have to download. We have an SD card where it keeps things that we have uploaded to it. And then it has a USB stick, which right now isn't plugged in. We have the control. We have motion where we can move the head around a little bit. We can home it. We can control how fast we move it. We can see up here what our location is, which probably will come in handy later. And then we can control the speed and the amount that it manually moves. Let's home it. And then we have the air pump control. If we have an air pump that's plugged into the machine itself, our air pump does not plug into the control box. Plugs into the laser head, but it has a control that's on the power cord. And then we have the controls for the enclosure. If we have it, we don't have an enclosure, so I can't show you much to do with that. And then under settings, we have WLAN, USB file transfer, languages. There's a device self-test where you can go through all the different functionalities. There's interrupt recovery. If we're using this and we, for some reason, have to hit the emergency stop or the power gets interrupted, or something like that, we can come back to our interrupt recovery and we can pick up where we left off. In system, we have working mode, roller mode. There's an accessory we can plug into it that's a roller, and there's also a rotary chuck that can plug into it. Since we don't have any of those things right now, we're just going to stay on XYZ plane mode. There's the screen timeout, there's sound on and off. We can clear the SD card, format the SD card, and that's an internal SD card, and we can do a full reset on the machine. We can check for updates on the firmware. Then there is machine, and machine has some safety features. It has tilt detection and vibration detection where it can stop the process of engraving or cutting if it gets tilted or if it detects too much vibration, and you can control how much tilt and how much vibration it will accept before it shuts off. Then there is a motion mode, high precision, balance, and high efficiency. They say high precision is when you're trying to do, really nice engraving. High efficiency is when you're cutting something out, and a balance is a balance between the two. Now, extended edition is you can buy an upgrade to this that lets you make it twice as large. If you did that, then you would turn extended edition on. Then there is laser where we can tell it what laser we have, and I've already set that. And then there is engraving where we can prompt for focusing, which should be on, I would think, and prompt for origin and range. We can do about where we can see what version of what machine and what hardware we have, and our IP address. One thing they do mention is you can connect this up to a computer. They say you don't need to do anything with Windows 10 or 11. So let's find that out. I am plugged into the laser. Let's plug it in. I haven't tried this yet. Setting up device. We're setting up AlgoLaser Alpha Mark II. And this is a notebook that I don't think I've used in a couple of years. Device ready, AlgoLaser Alpha Mark II. I set light burn up with a dummy so that I could at least see what it is. Let's see if I can go in and get it to recognize this. Your device list, find my laser. Device is connected via USB. Next. Light burn. There it is. GRBL LPC 400 something something something. Can I expand that out a little bit? Serial USB. Add device. What would you like to call it? Let's call it AlgoLaser. 400 by 400. We're going to say next. What is the origin of your laser? It is front left. That's it. You're done. Here's a summary. Click finish. So I'm going to close that, and let's make sure laser GRBL also will find it. Yeah, there is definitely going to be at least one follow-up video on this. How about connect? Oh, found it right away. AlgoLaser DIY kit Mark II ready. Another thing I discovered in the phone app is if you tap the little icon up here, the little silhouette human icon, you can change the operating mode from simple to pro. Confirm the switch, and now all of a sudden you have a boatload more options. What I would like to do now, I'm going to try and cut a 200 by 300 millimeter piece out of this. This is 1/8 inch sanded plywood I got down from Lowe's. They don't tell me what kind of wood it is. I could try and do this from the app, or I could try and do it from the front panel. We'll do one on the app and we'll do one from the front screen. So what I did was I uploaded my rectangle picture to Google Photos. I said share. I said share to AlgoLaser. And AlgoLaser opens up, and there it is. And I'm going to leave it alone. It's just a 1 pixel rectangle line. Next. And width 131 by 200. I want to change that if I can to 200 by 300. There we go. I'm going to say configure. Name Algo 10 watt. Materials, not craft paper. Solid, oh, it's plywood. Laser power, we're going to go to 100. And I think I was told to go to vector and contour. Speed, I should probably be at about 100 one time. All right, laser is focused, checked. Prompt, start at preview layout position or start from laser module position one time. Next. There's a risk of out of bounds. I don't think so. There was a way to do a preview from the front screen. Can I not do a preview here? I don't see a preview button here. I'm going to throw caution to the wind and say start. See what it does. I really just want it to cut. Well, it looks like that might be what it's doing. Oh, I want to turn the pump on, the air pump. There we go. All right, I think one of the reasons, no, I think the reason that made 2 passes when I told it only 1 pass was because my 1 pixel wide line was wider than the laser. Let's see if that cut through. And it did cut through. Nice. I could have done a better job arranging that. I wasted a little bit of wood. I can still get a second one out of this. So let's see if I can do one from the front panel now. Projects. With that one. So we're going to say processing. We're going to step back to 100. We're going to go. All right. So 10. And now we're going to try to do this again. And I think I'm fine with starting the laser right there. I'm going to tap preview, and it's going to show me what it's going to cut. It's still going to make 2 passes, but I'm not that worried about it. All right, tap start. It just dawned on me that I forgot to turn the air pump on. I wonder if that's why I'm getting the really burnt looking edges. So I have it turned on now. Let's see if that goes away. As you can see, it was definitely the fact that I forgot to turn the air pump on that got me the burned edges. So here's what I've got. I've got the image I want. I did the, from Google Photos, I just shared it to the AlgoLaser app. I have got it a size I think I want. I'm not going to crop it or filter it. I'm going to say next to that, I want to get the head in the position I want it to be in. And to do that, I'm going to go Control. I'm on 10 millimeters, so I'm just going to move it to where I want it to be. And I have it set for plywood for the AlgoLaser 10-watt laser. It's going to run the laser at 80% at 8,000 millimeters per minute one time. I'm going to tap the preview button and see if it's hopefully the size I want. Like in this side, of course, that's kind of where I had it. Oh, liking that now. Oh, and I'm liking that too, I think. Yeah, I'm liking that. And I'm good along the bottom edge. But I'm going to say start. 1 hour in, looking pretty good. And I'm scared spitless that leg's going to fall off of there, but it hasn't budged the whole time. Can't really push it back up on there because the bed and the part I'm engraving does not move with the machine. I think that turned out really, really nice. With that being done, I want to do another one, but this time I don't want to use the phone app at all. I want to do it all from the front panel. That's what I want. So I'm going to tap engraving. There it is there. Oh, cut border. I could have done this first and I could cut it right out of here. All right, well, I didn't do that. Materials, birch, plywood, quality high, power 100, speed fastest, scan mode, passes 1, auto param, I'm not sure what does. Let's hit processing and see what happens. That's awful tiny. Now, on the video I watched, and look how tiny it is, 33 by 50. On the video I watched, when the girl at AlgoLaser moved this around here, it moved the head. Let's try it. All right, that works. But 33 by 50 isn't going to cut it. It is kind of touchy. We are now 73% done after 45 minutes. So I want to do one more, but I want to do something a bit more artsy crafty now that I kind of got a little bit of a feel for what I'm doing. Not a lot, but a little. I want to do something a little bigger, and I want to try that automatic cutout feature that's available on the front panel. Let's see what I got. Some of you may know what this is. This is the box cover to an old LucasArts video game called Full Throttle. I've got a couple of copies of this game. I took a picture of the box, I cropped it, and I converted it to black and white for no other reason than I wanted to know kind of what it would look like in black and white. So here we're still on the birch plywood. Power, another thing I want to look at is this auto parameter. So we tap that, and now we can pick how light or how dark we want it. And I kind of want it, I'm thinking maybe there. That's going to set the laser power to 80 and the speed to 10,000. I'm going to say confirm. Now I want to cut the border out. I want high quality, one pass. I want to cut the border out. Anyway, I'm going to tell it is 3 millimeters thick. I want it set to square and not round or octagonal or triangular. I'm going to say confirm. We're going to hit processing, and now we can see this is way too tiny. 330. Let's get it about where I want to see it start at. And away we go. All right, we're 1 hour in, and that's a little bit more to see on it. For those of you who are interested, this is what the original box looks like. We're getting close to the point where the engraving should be done and the cutting should begin, and I want to capture that. So I might just speed up here through it, but we're about done, about ready to cut. All right, here we go. It's starting to cut. And it's done. Nice. Nice. So let's take a closer look at the things that I made in my couple of days playing around with this. I should let you guys know that there are really good tutorials for this, and the app walks you through a beginner tutorial session thing. I did not use it because that's not how I enjoy new things. I just like poking and prodding and learning that way. You might be different, but this was just me, and my apologies go out to AlgoLaser for that, but this is just how I like to do things. So this was the bear's face, and as you can see, it really wasn't dark enough. This was the part that I cut out by accident, and it cut through it really nice. That's just, I didn't realize it was cutting. I thought it was going to do more engraving. Next thing I did, I think the next thing I did was this picture of my Jeep, and I did that in the app. And as you can see, that came out really well. Then I wanted to try aluminum, so I did this. I originally tried it on the bare aluminum and I wasn't having any love, so I put a single coat of black spray paint on it, and then I went ahead and engraved over it. And this is going on my wall. I really like that. I thought that turned out super nice. And then I cut some pieces out with it, and I did cut these out with the machine itself. And I did a couple of these signs. I'm very, very pleased with how that turned out. Then I did the Jeep parking one, and this one I did from the front screen on it, not from the app, and that worked out super well too. Can't really complain about that. And then my pièce de résistance was this Full Throttle image from the game box of Full Throttle. So if it's not plain from what I've already said and showed you, I really enjoyed using this. I've had a boatload of fun with it. I haven't had this much fun since I got my first 3D printer, and this was far, far less frustrating than my first 3D printer. I had a successful use of this within 10 minutes of getting it put together. The first thing I tried, I got a reasonable success from. Everything moved, everything worked, and I was obviously needed some tweaking, but I was pretty happy with it. So from a noob standpoint, I think this thing is great. But like with any product like this, any piece of machinery that creates, cuts, builds, things like that, you need to become a good operator of that piece of machinery, and that's going to take some more time and more work. But when the machine is functioning and you're getting nice, usable products off it, it makes it so much more fun to learn the advanced stuff than it does if it's not working at all, like my first 3D printer. So I gotta say, I highly recommend this. The Honeycomb bed, I also recommend. The air pump, I think if you're doing light engraving, you might not need the air pump, but if you're engraving anything deeply or you're cutting, I think some type of air assist is absolutely necessary. So in closing, I want to say thank you to AlgoLaser for sending this out for me to check out. One more thing I want to say to AlgoLaser, more power. I need more power. And I want to thank you guys for watching my video. You will see more of this in the future. I already have 2 more projects that I have in mind for it, and my wife has a couple in mind too that she'd like me to do. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.